Um, unmute. Commit. Commit. Do we have Lucero first?
Yes, Judge. Lucero.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Are y'all ready?
Yes, Judge.
Are you Lauren Lucero?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you would raise your right hand, be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Is your true name Lauren Taylor Lucero?
Yes, sir.
And you understand you have 3 cases pending, 2 charge you with possession of a controlled substance, the other one charge you with possession of a dangerous drug.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like you and your attorney worked out plea agreements for 20 days and 60 days back tax credit. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
That was just your
And your
10
time served as of today. Do you understand that?
I'm sorry?
But you have
Time-
30-day time frame, so you're good.
Freezing.
Is it freezing out?
Call me back. and-
Is it everybody on there or just him?
It's just,
Judge, you're still muted now.
Undo that. There we go.
All right.
I think we're back. You understand what you've been, your agreement is? It's 20 days in jail with credit for at least 60 days.
yes, sir.
And do you understand your attorney's online with us and we're doing this plea electronically?
Yes, sir.
Are you okay doing the plea that way?
Yes, sir.
To each of these charges, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Accept your plea guilty in each case, find you guilty in each case, sentence you to 20 days in jail in each case. You'll get credit for at least 60 days in each case. As of right now, your time served, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, sir, I do not.
Good luck. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too. All right. Yep. I've got to find them.
Thank you.
Can we have Mr. Brown?
Good morning. Good morning.
There we go. Are you Zachary Brown?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Again, is your true name Zachary Brown?
Zachary with Brian. Yes, sir.
And you understand you're charged with failure to ID?
Yes, sir.
And have you had enough time to go over the case with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand we're doing this plea electronically and your attorney is online with us right now?
Yes, sir.
Are you okay doing the plea that way?
Yes, sir.
To the charge of failure to ID, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Accept your plea guilty, find you guilty, sentence you to 20 days in jail. You'll get credit for at least 30 days. You'll be time served as of right now, okay?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
Good luck.
Judge, can I ask a couple of quick questions?
Sure.
Mr. Brown, you and I have discussed the fact that you have a parole hold on you, right?
Yes, sir.
And I've not made any representations to you about what parole will do or won't do, have I?
No, sir.
Okay. And you understand that even though we're resolving this case today and it's a time served deal, that you're still going to be in custody until that parole hold gets lifted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness.
Good luck. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
On the plea docket. And could we have Mr. Luna?
Morning, Judge.
Morning. How are you?
I'm blessed. How about you?
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true name Christopher Michael Luna?
Yes, sir.
Did I represent you once upon a time?
No, I don't think so. I could be. I've only had Kyle and Cheryl, so that's.
Okay. Your name just sounds familiar. Anyway. All right.
Well, it's not our first time in the court, Your Honor.
It would have been a long time ago. All right. And do you understand what you're charged with? Criminal trespass?
Yes, sir.
And have you had enough time to go over that case with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
It looks like y'all worked out a plea agreement for 7 days in jail with credit for 14 days.
Yes, sir.
You're saying you'll be time served as of right now, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
To the charge of criminal trespass, and also, you understand we're doing the plea electronically and your attorney's online with us right now.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay doing the plea that way?
Yes, sir.
To the charge of criminal trespass, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Accept your plea guilty, find you guilty, sentence you to 7 days in jail. You'll get credit for at least 14 days. Like I said, you'll be time served as of right now, okay?
Appreciate
Do you
you.
have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
Okay, good luck. Thank y'all.
God bless you.
Take care, Chris.
Okay.
All right. You ready to do your mental health stuff?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me bring in everybody else. I brought everybody in. There.
Judge, do you want to start with Elise Jones?
Yeah, let's see. No, we need, yes. I knew we needed, had a Jones. I didn't know which one it was.
They're both Joneses today.
Elise would be good.
Okay.
Sherry, you can just watch.
Good morning.
Gee, thank you, Judge.
All right. Are you Miss Elise Jones?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand your, it looks like it's a theft charge? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment, I believe. Yes. I'm going to consider that for the purpose of this hearing. And did you want to call your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would raise your right hand, be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, stuff you got.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good morning, Ms. Jones. You remember talking to me last week about your case,
Yes.
and you remember discussing mental health bond and kind of what some of the requirements are that go along with that.
Yes.
And you understand that's why we're here today, to see if Judge Baxter will grant you a mental health bond.
Yes, I do.
Do you have a mental health diagnosis in your past?
Yes.
Can you tell the court what that diagnosis is?
I have a diagnosis of adult ADHD, also situational depression and anxiety.
Okay. Do you recall about how long ago you were diagnosed with that?
Yes, I was diagnosed the first time in 2011 with adult ADHD, and then again in 2018 with adult ADHD again, and the situational depression and anxiety.
Okay. You mentioned situational depression and anxiety. Are you comfortable telling the court kind of what the situation is?
Sure. So in 2018, I left where I'm from, which is Iowa, to flee domestic abuse. And that was with my children. And so that was very abrupt and disturbing. So it did create it turned my life upside down. So it created a lot of depression and hopelessness feelings, as well as anxiety, being thrust in a new place and trying to get things organized.
Okay. And since you got here, what kind of work have you typically done?
Mostly in the customer service and transportation business. I was able to get my CDL driver's license. So in Dallas, I was driving for the city transportation called DART. I was driving the city bus there. I've also been doing Customer service as in being an Uber driver, as well as doing like DoorDash and favor deliveries throughout the city of Dallas.
You're not currently or weren't currently doing either one of those jobs at the time of your arrest, though. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What kind of medications have been prescribed to you for your mental health?
Well, right now in the jail, I'm taking Zoloft, but what works best for me, what I've been on in the past since 2018, is Vyvanse. That's for my adult ADHD. Also Wellbutrin. That's for both my ADHD, and it's also used for the depression, as well as hydroxyzine, which is used on an as needed basis when I'm starting to experience anxiety or have an anxiety attack coming on.
Okay. And those three that you just mentioned, do they work well for you?
Yes, they sure do. Mm-hmm.
And where have you been receiving treatment that you had those medications prescribed to you?
At Parkland VIP.
All right. And when is the last time you had an appointment with Parkland?
It's been several months. I would have to say it would have to have been beginning of last year sometime.
The beginning of 2020 or 2021?
Of 2021.
Okay. All right. How long would you say you've been off of those meds prior to coming to jail?
I've been off of them for a good 7 months.
Okay. And why did you get off of them?
Because when I moved here from Denton, broke up with my husband, I did not have an appointment set up with Parkland. And so I did call and ask for a prescription refill, but they required that I have an appointment in order to get the medication refill. And I wasn't able to successfully get in for an appointment dealing with so many other issues.
Okay. Do you feel like that it would be beneficial for you to get back on those medications?
Yes, very much so.
Do you have reason to believe that Parkland will take you back into that program as a patient?
Yes, I'm certain that they will. They've been urging me to just get an appointment on the books and they can get me started back right away. Okay. So I've had the same doctor the whole time. I'm really confident that they would.
All right. Judge Baxter is very likely to make that a condition of your bond, that you get in contact with them right away and that you follow any kind of treatment recommendations, medications that they prescribe, anything of that nature. Are you willing to do that?
Absolutely, yes.
And do you receive any sort of disability, like Medicaid or SSI or anything like that?
No, sir, I don't.
If you're released, where would you live?
I would be living initially at the Austin Street Shelter in Dallas.
And do you have any history of staying at that place?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you're quite certain you can go back there if you're released?
Yes, I am. They have an open door policy and they have all the resources that I need to get a good, firm reentry.
If for some reason they didn't take you, do you have anywhere else you could stay?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and where would that be?
That would be with the person that brought me here to Texas 3 years ago. His name is Tim Davis, and he lives at 1126 Richard Street in Mesquite.
Okay. And how long have you known Mr. Davis?
For 3 years.
All right. You will also need transportation to get to and from these appointments. You're going to have to report regularly to the court and to Miss Tony Fox, who you, if you haven't met, you'll meet shortly, hopefully. How will you get to and from those appointments?
I plan to start doing Uber and Lyft again. They have a program with Avis Rent-A-Car where I can rent a car to do my work that way. If for some reason my appointment is before I get the car rental taken care of, then I would get an Uber or a Lyft over here.
Okay. All right. I will pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Jones, I'm sorry, I think I might have missed this, but what is your relation to Tim Davis? He just,
I don't have, yeah, just a friend. I don't have any relation to him.
okay. And where is your support system back in Iowa? Do you have any other family here?
I don't have any blood family here, but I do have a support system. I don't have a support system very much in Iowa. That's why I had to leave there and come here and start over.
And were you living at the Austin Street shelter when you committed this offense?
No, ma'am.
Okay, where were you living?
I was actually living at Budget Suites off Northwest Highway and 35 in Dallas.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but do you have a pending theft charge in Dallas right now, or a couple pending theft charges?
No, ma'am. I don't think they're pending. I thought they were convictions.
Okay. Just want to make sure though. Okay. And at the time of those offenses, they were in July. Were you still looking at the Budget Inn?
Yes.
Okay. How will you be able to, have you been able to afford your medication in the past?
Yes, actually, I have with Parkland, I have an insurance plan. They're a county hospital in Dallas. And so I've been able to sign up with their program. Very fortunate that they cover my health care and my prescriptions.
So why weren't you taking your medications for the last 7 months or so?
Because I didn't have an appointment on board with Parkland. And so with my psychiatrist, I needed to have an appointment attended before she prescribed my prescriptions.
Okay, well, and you understand that you're going to have to be diligent on making and keeping those appointments in order to be on a mental health bond if medication is prescribed and required.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no further questions for this witness from the state.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
You rest?
We'll rest.
Anything else from the state?
Your Honor, we just have the defendant's criminal history to read into the record, and then we will rest. On December 28th, 2020, the defendant was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1. That case is pending in Dallas. On February 10th, 2021, the defendant was arrested for theft of property, Class B misdemeanor out of Denton. And that case is still pending in Denton. On April 22nd, 2021, the defendant was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. This is obviously pending in Dallas County right now. And then on May 20th, 2021, the defendant was convicted of theft, Class B misdemeanor, was confined for 10 days. July 7th, 2021, the defendant was arrested for theft, a Class B misdemeanor, and then convicted and sentenced to 5 days confinement in Tarrant County. And then on July 23rd, 2021, the defendant was arrested and convicted for theft, Class B misdemeanor in Dallas County, and sentenced to 10 days confinement.
You rest?
Seat rest.
Any argument from the state?
Your Honor, we would defer to the court at this time, and just note though that just all the pending theft convictions out of the different counties would probably make it very difficult for this defendant to follow up with mental health bond conditions.
Yeah. Ms. Jones, I'm gonna give you bonds on these cases. You may have a hold from Denton. I'm assuming if there's a case pending and you haven't appeared in court, they may have to haul you over there. But all this stuff's kind of recent, so you need to get control of your situation, get all the help you can get from what we can give you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Get back on your meds, get back into counseling or whatever they want you to do. You're gonna have to call Tony every week and let her know how you're doing. You'll have to come see me once a month, and we'll probably drug test you when you show up if you have a history of drug problems. So expect to be drug tested, okay?
Okay,
You can't have anything in your system that's not supposed to be in your system, okay?
okay.
Tony, do you want to talk to her real fast? You're muted.
Working on it. There we go. Hi, Ms. Jones. I am Tony. I'm going to be your case manager for the mental health bond. When you get released, you should find a folder in your property. And inside that folder is going to have my card. If you will give me a call tomorrow so that I know that you made it out okay and that you're okay and safe where you're at. And then we'll kind of go over what you need to be doing and how quickly. And if you run into any problems, you can let me know, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're
They're
welcome.
gonna give you all the help they can give you. You got to do a bunch of stuff on your own though, okay?
Yes, thank you
All right.
guys so much.
I will see you on September 9th, I believe it is. And as long as you're staying in touch with Tony, we may change that. Just keep calling her every week and let her know how you're doing. If you don't get out of jail, then obviously we won't be able to see you on September 9th. It'd be the next month, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Jones, feel free to call me if you have any questions, okay?
Okay, thank you very
All right.
much.
You bet. Take care.
We have Darnell Jones.
That would be me, Judge.
You're Darnell?
Do I look like Darnell?
No.
That's Darnell.
There you go. All right.
I don't get this.
All right. Darnell Earl Jones, and it's a charge of continuous violence against family. Did you want to call your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so you got.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Darnell,
And I have the mental health assessment, and I have reviewed.
okay, and I'm assuming that Claire has it as well. Okay. Darnell, you are a person that has a mental illness, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell the judge what your latest diagnosis is?
Schizophrenic, bipolar, manic depression.
Okay. And do you take medication for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what medication are you on?
Prozac, Risperdal, Trazodone, and Serlitrin or Satrin.
Okay. And are these medications helping you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you know that if the judge grants our mental health bond, which is what we're requesting, that you will have to get into services either with LifePath or MetroCare, depending on which place you're gonna live. And you're going to have to stay on medication, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because you know the value of being on your medication, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I mentioned it, depending on what place you're going to live, you have listed that you want to live with your mother. That's who you were living with. But there's an issue with there being a protective order that you can't go within 500 yards, I believe it is, of Miss Garland, who's the alleged victim in this case. And she lives in the neighborhood that your mother does. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so if that is found to be within 500 yards of Miss Garland, you will live with your sister who lives in Dallas County.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you also are required under that same order of conditions of bond to have an ankle monitor, and you're willing to do that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that will show whether you're within 500 yards of that of Miss Garland's residence or not. You realize that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you will have to contact Miss Tony, who is on with us, and she'll say something to you in a moment, hopefully. And you'll have to call her every week, and you will have to visit with this judge once a month until we finish with this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because you've gone over all of these conditions of bond, some with me, but also with Joseph when he did the bond action plan, correct?
Who?
The person who did the bond action plan with you.
Mr. Hill.
Yes, Mr. Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is your plan upon release? Are you going to get a job? Are you going to go to school? What's your plan?
I'm actually enrolled in Full Sail College. I was supposed to start my semester on the 1st. So,
Okay. Okay. And what are you studying?
Film.
Okay, cool. And are you also in the process of applying for SSDI?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you are going to continue with that?
Yes, ma'am. I'll talk to a judge on the 28th.
Okay. Okay. And so you need to be out to be able to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you had any contact with Miss Garland since either one or any of these incidences?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any intention to have any contact with her?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I explained to you when we talked about this, that because of this charge, this judge may or may not grant our request. I explained that to you, right? Because it's an assault charge. But we decided to go ahead and ask him because you wanted to be on mental health bond conditions.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay. And you're willing to follow those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jones, where does your sister live?
She stays on Forest Lane.
Does anyone else live at that household with her?
No, ma'am.
So she lives by herself there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any means of transportation? Do you have a car?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have a car?
Yes, I have a vehicle.
Okay. Where is it?
It's at my mom's house.
Okay. However, you do realize that you cannot go within 500 yards of Miss Garland. So most likely you can't go to your mom's house, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you taking your meds at the time that this offense?
No, ma'am.
And
I was actually waiting on the mail because I get it from Metro Care on Samuel. So they usually just send it through the mail because of the COVID-19, you really can't walk in there. So they'll send it to the mail and send it to my mom's house. So I was in the process of waiting on that.
Have you always taken medication, Mr. Jones?
No, ma'am. I actually started taking it in maybe 2018.
Okay, but you didn't take any medication before then?
No, ma'am.
And have you always taken it consistently?
No, I took it consistently.
Okay. Why is that?
Because of my conditions. Like I was in prison for 10 years, so I deal with a lot of my problems the way I'm not supposed to. So the medicine helps kind of balance my mind.
Okay.
It keeps my mind from wandering.
Right. However, you didn't start taking that medication until 2018. And since then, you haven't taken it consistently. Is that correct?
No, I took it consistently.
Since 2018?
Yes.
No further questions.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor, arrest and close.
Anything else from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, we do have the defendant's criminal history to read into the record, and this time we would offer State's Exhibit 1, which is the probable cause affidavit.
For purposes of this hearing, I have no objection, Your Honor.
And that I'll admit it for the purpose of this hearing only. And I have reviewed it.
And thank you, Your Honor. So on August 11, 2018, the defendant was arrested for evading arrest or detention, a Class A misdemeanor. That case looks like it's still pending with Dallas County. On March 9th, 2019, the defendant was arrested for resisting arrest. That case is still pending out of Dallas County. On December 23rd, 2020, the defendant was arrested for evading arrest or detention with a vehicle. That case is pending in Dallas County. On April 26, 2021, the defendant was arrested for injury to a child, elderly or disabled, a third-degree felony out of Kaufman County. That case was reduced to a Class C family violence. There's 2 of those charges. Then we have our current offense here. The defendant has a lengthy criminal history out of Oklahoma. Most notable are disorderly conducts and public drunkenness, and then a possession with intent to deliver.
Anything else?
And that's the end of the criminal history.
Any argument from the state?
Your Honor, obviously due to the assaultive nature of this offense, the fact that it's continuous, including the defendant's pending charges, including resisting arrest and Class C assaults, we would ask that the court deny this mental health bond due to the defendant's inability to take his medication and proven assaultive history.
Yeah, the history is there's too much violence involved, and I'm not going to grant bond this time. When the case gets filed, that court can reconsider whether to file a bond or not, or give you a bond or not. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge Darnell. I'll come see you. Okay.